This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV. We're day 2 of Cloud Expo, sitting with Todd Rader, who's a solutions architect with AppDynamics. This year with Cloud Expo, what we've done is we've integrated, co-located, merged, mingled a few other major topics with Cloud Expo. One of them is DevOps. In fact, we have a full-blown DevOps summit with 2 tracks, cleverly called Dev and Ops. Todd's going to be speaking at that event, and he's one of the things major thing that he's focused on. So, welcome. And what are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about how application monitoring and intelligence can really smooth the path in a DevOps environment. In DevOps environment, it's constant change that you see. And if you're trying to monitor things in a constantly changing environment, you're going to spend a lot of your job fixing your monitoring. You're going to be constantly updating it. There is a better way to do it that works very well in a DevOps environment. And part of what DevOps teams do is they move things into the cloud.
Right.
When you move things into the cloud, that can be either the greatest cost savings your company ever does or an unmitigated disaster.
Exactly, and that's what I'm thinking is you're talking about smoothing it. Is this because of a sort of a perceived disconnect between the dev and the ops side, or is it just as a general way to keep moving things forward and having everyone kind of on the same page?
Probably more of the latter. Yeah. The disconnect between dev and ops is exactly what DevOps is supposed to address, if it works. But even when you've addressed that disconnect, there's still just the sheer volume of the problem of moving your whole infrastructure to a cloud. Even if everyone's on the same page, it's a big job.
Do companies come to you in distress, or because you're providing a big solution to a big problem, or are you reaching out to them and they're finding out what you can do, or I'm trying to go after sort of a distress level that you might find?
It's some of both. We definitely get companies in distress. We even get companies who will come to us and they are in distress, and we can tell that, but they won't tell us what that is. And in fact, a company will almost be a part of the proof of concept, almost challenge us to find their distress. So it's all over the map.
How quickly is this stuff moving? The whole thing is agile, fast, and now DevOps is going to do it. I mean, your world must move fairly quickly.
It does, and one of our great strengths is that if a customer is moving fast in their environment, we're watching it still. We're still keeping track of what they care about. We're not paying attention to what server is handling what load unless we need to go in and diagnose what's wrong. So we work very well in agile environments.
Well, I was thinking, we never asked to reveal anything you can't, but sort of your customers, large companies, specific verticals, or some stories you might have. Where's kind of the major areas you're working?
Yeah, we're all over the place as far as verticals. We have bank companies, we have hotels, we have even old guard things like railroads and manufacturers. E-commerce is a very simple map to what we do. Companies that are in the financial space but not banks, it's really all over the place.
The railroad business is one of the most progressive businesses there is, and the amount of data and the logistics is amazing.
Exactly.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that, because that business fascinates me.
Well, they're figuring out how to make that business, how to modernize that business through software. And one of our key phrases that we go toward is what we call a software-defined business, a business that depends on software for their revenue stream, not a business that creates software to sell, but whose very survival depends on their software. And so that's everybody. That is, you look out there in the world, and the people who are not relying on software are the ones falling behind. Railroads have figured this out, and they've figured out that there's no way they can run a profitable railroad without modernizing their schedules and their contracts and everything they depend on for their business.
So the irony of these monsters away between 7,000 and 10,000 tons hurtling down the tracks are more dependent on software than almost any other sort of business.
I can give you another example if you want.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Have you heard many Domino's pizza commercials? I'm not claiming they're a customer or anything, but
I'm familiar.
Domino's, they're touting their competitive advantage now. They're being a technology company. They have more IT employees than they have pizza employees. And that's how they are going from the company that once said how bad their pizza was a couple of years ago to a very profitable company. And I think if you look at their stock price right now, they've done quite well.
So that's kind of funny. I mean, you get a company that was truly in crisis, and the instinct is probably not to do exactly what they did, which is we've got to get some IT in here and get a lot smarter about what we're doing. We're going to fix these problems, and we're going to fix them, through these intelligent solutions. If you look ahead at the next year, I'm going to guess. Many times we're sitting here and we're talking about this is coming, and over the years at this show, the next year for you and your customers is probably just heads down, right?
Yes, but the software world is always changing.
Yeah.
So we have to keep up with just what is out there and what people are building apps with. We're seeing customers now move into application intelligence, using their application data. There's this great TechCrunch article of 10 trends transforming IT right now, and number 8 we love. Data is a new competitive advantage. Application data generated from running their IT shop is a competitive advantage if you know how to use it.
Not the first time I've been wrong. So there's no rest. It's just going to keep going. We've been joined for a few minutes with Todd Rader, who's a solutions architect with AppDynamics. They're on DevOps. It's the whole thing about making enterprises smart, and it's just fantastic stuff. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for participating as a speaker. Time this airs, your session will have come and gone, but it will be available to people. So good luck with that, and thanks for watching. With Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckhoff.